Hi, Ty Lord here. I will be starting my diet tomorrow, November the 2nd, Monday. I've been grubbing a lot this weekend, because it's the last time I'm going to do that. So I packed on some weight, so we'll see how much I weigh right here. This will be my starting weight. I'm going to maybe do a little journal once a week on a video to show my progress. So I'll start right here. This is November 1st. We'll see how much I weigh. Probably the most I've ever weighed in my life from the grubbing I've been doing. It's about 285, give or take. This phone and my clothes might be a pound. I'll just say 285 right there. So that's my starting point. We'll see how much weight I can take off. Okay, and now in the honor of the passing of Sir Sean Connery, my favorite actor, I wanted to do a little review of one of my favorite movies here, Never Say Never Again. When I was a kid, this was one of my favorite movies, along with a lot of the other Bond movies. This is the one I watched a lot when I was a kid. A lot of people don't think highly of it, but I really like it, and I just watched it right now, so it's fresh in my mind, and I think I liked it just as much now as I did when I was a kid. Last night, my wife and I watched Dr. No. Love that one. That one is as good as ever. The very first Bond movie with Sean Connery. This is his last movie, made in 1983, and it's not part of the original production. It's not part of Eon production. This was a totally different production. So you won't be seeing the gun barrel opening. You won't be hearing the James Bond music. You won't be seeing the other reoccurring actors. This is its own production studio. I don't want to get into it. There was a legal battle over the Thunderball story between Fleming and one of the producers of this movie, Kevin McClory. I don't want to get into that though, but I just want to talk about this movie. It came out in 1983, the same time as Octopussy with Roger Moore. I would have loved to have been old enough to go to the show back then and see a double feature with Never Say Never Again and Octopussy. I love both of those movies. I couldn't tell you who I like more, Roger Moore or Sean Connery. I'd have to say Sean Connery is the best Bond, but Roger Moore might be my personal favorite. Anyway, this movie I watched right here, I watched it on my DVD. I have the Blu-ray, or pardon me, not Blu-ray, the Laserdisc. Don't have a Laserdisc player, but I collect anything Bond. That was 95 cents. So I'm keeping it for me. So released in 1983. Directed by Irvin Kershner, the director of Empire Strikes Back, of all things. So everyone loves Empire Strikes Back. That's everyone's favorite Star Wars. So there's no reason not to like Never Say Never Again. A great cast too. Sean Connery. This is his last Bond movie. So a lot of people say he looks kind of old in here. He's probably in his 50s. I think he looks great. He's probably as fit as ever in this movie. In his 50s. Action scenes and everything he does just fine. Sort of has the look of young Connery, but he sort of talks like old Connery. He's getting kind of old, so this is the best of both worlds. Like young Connery and old Connery are like kind of two different beasts, but this movie is kind of like a combination of them both, so the best of both worlds. Anyway, so 83, got a great cast here. My nice little DVD comes with a little booklet here. Kind of reminds me of a video game manual. Great cast here. It's got Bond, Sean Connery, of course. The villain is played by Max Maria Brandauer. I don't see any pictures of him. I'm not really familiar with that actor. Not familiar with him. But I just know him from this, and he's a great villain. He plays Maximilian Largo. The villain, the number one of Spectre. really crazy villain, kind of in the same vein as Christopher Walken in A View to a Kill, just a nutcase. You never know what this guy's going to do, the villain in here. The plot of this movie, before I get to the other actors, it's the same as Thunderball. This is a remake of Thunderball. This is the Thunderball story retold. I can't think of any other movie that was remade with the same actor playing the same part. There might have been some John Wayne movies like that, I'm not sure. Thunderball was released in 1965. This one was released in 83. It's the same, it's sort of a remake of Thunderball, but starring the same lead, playing the same character. No one else is going to be in there from the Bond movies. There is M. It's played by a totally different character. Moneypenny is played by a different actor, pardon me. And Moneypenny, Q, they're all played by different actors. Story is about the terrorist organization Spectre that you're familiar with in other Bond movies. They hijack some nuclear warheads and they hold the world ransom, and James Bond is on the case. Along the way, he meets a lot of beautiful women and fights with some sharks, races some motorcycles, gets in some fights. Great stuff. The Ernst Blofeld in here is actually played by, he has a small part by Max von Sydow here. Everyone knows him from a lot of movies back in the 60s through the 80s. I think he was just recently in a Star Wars too, but he was Ming the Merciless in Flash Gordon. He was in pretty much every other movie in the 80s. He's a great Blofeld. I think he has the look of how I would expect Blofeld to look. The mastermind of Spectre with a cat. And a great voice. I think his voice nails how Blofeld sounded back in the early Bond movies. And then Kim Basinger's in here. This is the first time I ever saw her. A little kid, like however old I was when I saw this. This was just too much to see all these beautiful women. Kim Basinger and Barbara Carrera here. Kim Basinger is the lead Bond girl. She's sort of like a kept woman. She's sort of kept by the main villain, the crazy Maximilian Largo. But she pulls off this role really well. I think a lot of her acting is really convincing in here. Like, she's sort of naive and innocent and scared at the same time. And it really shows in her acting, a lot of the emotions she shows. Everything in here, she's elegant, beautiful and elegant. Like, you'll see her dancing or doing the tango or swimming. Just very elegant actress. Same with Barbara Carrera here. Crazy Bond girl, femme fatale. This is the evil Bond girl, or the villain who is always trying to kill Bond and getting him in bed along the way. Just sort of reminds me of later on, they had similar villainesses like this in A View to a Kill with Mayday, Grace Jones, and then later on Zinnia Onatopp in GoldenEye sort of resembles this character. So I love the cast. Felix Leiter in here is played by Bernie Casey. I don't really remember him from any things. I remember he was in Bill and Ted. He was the teacher, I think, or the principal or something. It's been a while since I've seen that. This Felix Leiter is a stud. I like this Felix Leiter. He gets down and dirty. He does a lot of action scenes. He's really funny. He has some great lines with Bond. I like the chemistry between Bond and Felix in this, along with Bond and the women as well, and the villain. Who else here? Yeah, the M is totally different. It's not Bernard Lee. I think he had died by this time. It's this guy Edward Fox. He's sort of like a different type of M. He's kind of funny though. Q Algae. This guy is the least crabby Q I've ever seen. He's the least grumpy Q I've ever seen. I kind of like his little scene. I like the Q in this. One of the henchmen Bond fights is that actor. See, I watched these movies back to back when I was a kid all the time, and I never realized this. One of the henchmen Bond fights in here is the same dude that Indiana Jones fought on Raiders of the Lost Ark. The guy, the Nazi that got chopped up by the big strong Nazi, the bald guy that got chopped up by the airplane propeller. He actually has a role in this. He has a cool fight with Bond. It's a really scrapping, brutal fight in a health clinic. They're tearing up the whole clinic, making a mess, destroying everything. I really love that scene. Reminds me of a classic Bond fight, like something with Odd Job or Jaws. Great stuff. A lot of underwater scenes. You see Bond fight with some sharks in this. Some good cinematography underwater. I really like the cinematography in this movie. I don't know if it's the director, Irvin Kershner, or the cinematographer, the cameraman. I really like a lot of the stuff in here. The nice, really cool motorcycle chase scene in here. Probably the best motorcycle chase scene I can think of in a Bond movie. What else? Yeah, I just really like this movie. Yeah, like I said, I like the plot, I like the dialogue, I like the humor. I get a lot of good laughs out of this movie. It gets hated on a lot, and I'm not really sure why. I think people just don't like it because it's not part of the main series, and there was controversy surrounding it. But man, as a Sean Connery fan and a Bond fan, I really love this movie. I would like to see deleted scenes from this. Some of the editing's really tight in this. I like it, but I notice a lot of times like it cuts off before it should. I'm thinking there might be a lot of good deleted scenes from this movie that I'd really like to see. I'd like to see more on this movie. This DVD and of course the Laserdisc don't have a commentary. I'd like to see the Blu-rays commentary with the director. Am I missing anything? Yeah, for a standalone Bond movie that's not part of the main series, this is as solid as it gets. It's not like the 67 Casino Royale that was just trash. This is a great, solid Bond movie. It holds up to the others at the time. Acting's great, visuals great. The soundtrack is done by this Legrand. What's his name? Michael Legrand. It's a banging soundtrack. I don't think I like it as much as the John Barry type James Bond score, but this has some great tracks in here on the score. I actually like listening to a couple of the tracks from this movie. There's a cool dance scene. The music in there, it's like a tango type song, and there's this sort of aerobic dancing music that sounds like porno music, but it's really catchy. And the theme song, it's I don't think it's regarded as one of the best Bond movies, but I really like the tune of it. I think it's a nice song, it's played over the beginning scene of the movie with the credits. Like there's an action scene with this song playing over, and it doesn't really fit the movie, but I always liked the song, and I thought I like how it overlaid the action scene at the beginning. Anything else I have to say about this? I'm sure there's a lot more, but I'm getting tired. I just ate a bunch of food today, so I'm not getting a lot of blood to my brain. Once I start my diet, though, I'll start getting a lot sharper. I'll get sleeker and sharper as the weeks go by. I got to stick to this. So you guys hold me to this diet, so I can get healthy. And not that I'm not healthy. I just don't want to go any further down this glutton hole. Anyway, go watch some Sean Connery movies. I recommend this one. If you haven't seen any of the Bond movies, please watch them with Sean Connery. I know everyone's all up on Daniel Craig. I'm not saying I dislike Daniel Craig. I love Casino Royale. I went to the theater and saw it 5 times. I love Spectre a lot. Like, Spectre is probably one of my favorite Bond movies in years. But none of them hold a candle to Sean Connery. I'm sorry. It's not Daniel Craig. It's just the style of movie. This is the style of Bond movie I like. I like the humor and the I hate to say it, but the chauvinism. I just love these movies. Yeah, so go check out Never Say Never Again. I recommend it highly. I'll talk to you later. I might try to do a video every week now. I need to shout out a few people, so I'm going to start doing my weekly updates with my weight. I'll try to grab my body fat percentage at the nurse's office at my work every week like I used to do. I think I went from like 260 to like 242 last time. I kind of want to get down to that weight again. What else? Yeah, so I'll probably start trying to do videos every Saturday. I might just share my collection or movie collection or video game collection just for something to do, to get on camera, to do update with my weight loss progress. So anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Go check out Never Say Never Again. Bye.